Hi everyone, it's Gulay from NBA Grounds Cafe and Training Academy again. Good to see you. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but I'm really excited about this video. Today we're going to be talking about our equipment, which we need to make a great cup of coffee. I'm going to go through the equipment that I have in my cafe to explain how to operate it, what's the differences. We are going to skim through it, obviously. We're not going to go totally in depth on each equipment, but if you do want to know, please feel free to shoot out a message to me or come to the cafe. We can go through it in person or join one of my workshops. Let's start with our whiteboard. I hope you can see this, guys. The first main thing that we will talk about is the actual coffee machine, the espresso machine. There are two types of coffee machines that we can use to make coffee: commercial and the ones we use at home. How many groups each machine can have varies from 1, 2, 3 to 4. You won't see many 4-group machines around. They're very rare. They're usually used in very high volume cafes. Most cafes will have a 3-group machine at least. Cafes that do less than 5 kilos a day or 4 kilos a day might use a 2-group machine. The home machines, obviously it's a 1-group. Some people have a 2-group machine. They want to be a bit fancy. Why not? All to their own. The different types of brands that's out there and the most popular ones that you will hear about. I would say the first one is La Marzocca. Really, everyone really knows more about La Marzocca. They do awesome marketing on the machine. Their marketing campaigns are great. All the machines look beautiful. They all look very similar. Can't really tell which model they are from the outside. But the most popular ones outside of La Marzocca is the Espresso, which is the one I have, the San Remo for commercial, Liga, as well as the Slayer. I don't know if many of you know the Slayer. They look so beautiful, very sexy machines, very beautiful machines, powerful machines to work with as well. You won't see many places that have that machine. At home, the most popular machine most people have is the Breville one. The one with the grinder in the machine and the one without the grinder. Very good machines. I've got one at home as well that I use on the weekends. As you all know, I'm only open 5 days a week here. I love my coffee on this machine. It's not the same as the Breville, of course, but it's still a great machine to work from at home. And I know a lot of students use that at home for practice, which is good, great. But again, the pressure on the wand and the coffee extraction is obviously not the same, so it's not going to be the exact same practice, but it's good to start with. I'll show you my machine, by the way. This is a Espresso, guys. It's an American make. It's a very solid, very strong machine. It's a beautiful machine. What I love about this machine, it's got 3 separate boilers for each group. It's got its own motor for each group, so if one breaks down, let's say during, I don't know, something's happening, we're very busy and one of the groups just, stop working, I can still use the other 2. Like, the whole machine won't stop, which is great. You need that. The other thing I love about this machine, it's got the counters on the top for each group. What this does is actually shows you how many seconds it takes to pour each extraction out for each shot, whether it's a single or a double. This is really handy when you're learning, when you're just starting to learn, because you want to make sure you get the perfect extraction, the perfect shot for each coffee. And the best timing to look for is between 27 to 35 seconds. Again, that can vary for the different blends and beans that you might have, whether it's 100% Arabica, or which country, or dark roast, medium roast. It can change a little bit, but the average is between 27 to 35 seconds. So if you come into a cafe, you can actually see the shots. Take a note of the seconds it took for your shot to come out for your cup of coffee. So if it's under 27 seconds, I mean really under 27 seconds, like 20 seconds, 22 seconds, it's not going to give the full flavor of the coffee. And if it's above 35 seconds, like 40, 50, oh my god, that's over extraction. That's when the coffee tastes bitter. I get a lot of customers that come in and say, I don't want a bitter coffee, and I'm like, the first response is always, coffee should never be bitter, ever. It should always be smooth and beautiful, just, you know, come down your throat like that. That's how coffee should be, a shot. How to know that is from the seconds, guys. So that's what I love about this machine. So it's really easy to teach on this machine to first-time users on a espresso machine. So this is the Espresso. I love it. The only issue with the Espresso is it's not very popular in Australia. So the maintenance on it, the parts of it can be very hard to find if it breaks down, if you have a little mechanical issue, and obviously it's going to cost a little bit more. It's from the States, it's made in America, so it's a strong machine, it's a good machine. But if you're buying a machine like this, or you're working with a machine like this, you're in a cafe that has one of these, it's not a bad thing, it's a great thing, but the maintenance might be a little bit difficult. So for those of you who are looking to open up your own cafe, I would strongly recommend talking to your supplier about what machines they work with, and service more easy. It's always better for you in the long run, so that way if something happens with your machine, they can easily come on the spot and service it or fix it straight away. That's why La Marzocca is very popular, guys. La Marzocca is an Italian made machine. The parts are easier to find, the service is easier, the maintenance is easier, so it's more cost effective to get one of those machines. So if the supplier that you're working with, that you buy your coffee from, works more with a La Marzocca, then I highly recommend you go and you purchase a La Marzocca machine. So guys, this recommendation obviously is for those who are looking to open up a cafe. So lately I've been getting a lot of inquiries on training for a new and upcoming cafe, and which is great. I love those kind of students and trainees. It's awesome. It's very exciting, because when you open up a new business, you know, the menu, the coffee, the look, everything, it's just very exciting for me anyway. Okay guys, so this is my machine. Next we're going to talk about the grinders. So I'll just move the camera again back to here. So the grinders, the 3 different types of grinders: your chamber grinder, your single shot grinder, and the full automatic grinder. They're the main ones around. There's obviously more than that, but they're the main types of different grinders around. The most popular brands that you will find or you'll see out there will be the Mazza. It's a good machine, very strong machine. It's an Italian-made machine, beautiful machine. A lot of them come in a chamber style or a single shot. They do have a fully automatic one as well now. It's really good. They're up and coming up there. But the other most popular grinder you might see in a lot of cafes is the Mythos one. I'll show you the ones I have. The other important thing with grinders is the dosing. Now this is really, really important, guys. Dosing, what does that mean? Basically, in basic English terms, not any fancy language, is how many grams go into each basket. So they're pretty much programmed. You can program each grinder separately to make sure you get the right amount of grams into each basket of your groups. So a lot of popular groups baskets you'll see out there are 20 grammers for the double shot, and for the single shot, sorry, I'll just grab that for you. Sorry, back again. The single shot is usually about a 14 grammer. So you can program your grinders to make sure you get the right amount of grams into each basket. Again, this will change based on how thick or fine the grind is, which we go into more detail in our workshops. The other thing is the time. How long does it take to grind the coffee to go into each basket, the single or the double? This is very important, guys, for very high volume cafes. When I say high volume, I'm talking about how many kilos they go through a day. And if they're going over 5-7 kilos a day, that's a lot of cup of coffees. Remember how we spoke about roughly how many cups there are in 1 kilo, which is an average of 50 cups. So if they're doing 5 kilos, they're doing 250 cups on average. And we haven't even gone into the single and large and so forth. So how long does it take to grind for each group? That's something important to think about. If you want to be efficient, have speed, make your coffees on time, good quality, good grind, don't make the customers wait, lot to consider here, guys, which I go through with all my grinders. And gravimetric, very fancy word, eh? That's the weight again, how many grams it is. Okay, so that's what we talked about in the dosing. Now we'll go through the grinders that I have, and I've got one of almost each of them. So I've got the, let me just move the camera over to this side, guys. Now this is the Mythos 1 grinder. I love this machine. This is beautiful. It's unbelievable. It's awesome. Why do I love it? Because it's so easy to adjust. So if the coffee's coming out too quick, that means the grind is too coarse. So to adjust that to make it more finer, it's much more easy on this machine versus this machine. Now this machine is my Mazza single shot grinder. I love this machine too. It's what's great about this machine versus this is a little bit faster than this one. However, the best grinder out there, I know people are going to say, are you crazy for saying this, would have to be this old school Mazza chamber grinder. Now, why do I love this grinder? Well, it is a Mazza. It's a great brand. It's a good machine. Very strong, very sturdy, Italian made. But what's great about this, it's fast, speed. So if you've got a line of customers waiting in your cafe and you've got, I don't know, 20 cups of coffee to make, you know, within 2-3 minutes, let me tell you, it takes you roughly 2 to 3 seconds to fill up a double shot basket in this one versus, we'll just turn this on for you so you can see. If we go to dose one is for a double shot. You probably can't even see from here, sorry guys, but it says here 8.9 seconds. So 8.9 seconds to fill up a double shot basket versus 2 to 3 seconds. So look how fast, you're saving about 7 seconds roughly. It will take a little bit longer than 8.9 because normally I stop it halfway so the grind doesn't overflow and I don't waste the grind, and I tap it a little bit so it settles into the basket so I don't lose any grams. I don't like wastage, guys. So there goes another second. So it roughly takes about 10 seconds to fill up a double shot grinder, double shot group. However, on this beautiful machine, it takes 2 to 3 seconds. Why? Just click this. That's it. Three clicks for a double shot, 2 clicks for a single shot. Very, very quick. That's why this machine is great, and you will see this machine as a backup machine in a lot of cafes. They still have it just in case. It's old school, very hard to break down, always good. As we all know, technology is advancing and they're making all these fancy machines, but although that's great, the bad thing about that is when, you know, things break down, you need a service guy to come out to fix it. It's not something that easy that you can fix. So for problems like that, you know, you can't have the coffee shop stop. Obviously, you've got to continue making coffee. So it's great to have your backup grinders in there. Why do you need to learn how to use this one? Okay, the difference again between these three grinders, although this is very fast, you have to know how to manage this grinder. Why? Because this chamber here, this is called a chamber. When the coffee from the hopper grinds into this chamber, there's a certain time that you could only leave it in here for it to still hold the oils in the grind, and you get that beautiful that crema in the shot. So you have to know how to manage it. You can't just fill it up and leave it there, you know, for more than 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, the oil start dripping out, and the shot, the extraction will start changing. And if you really care about your shot, and you know, you count your seconds, you count your time on each extraction, you should throw it out if it's not coming out right. So how do I manage this? Well, I'll only use this when it's really, really busy, and I just want to make sure the customers get a good coffee and, you know, they're on their way, they're out, because usually they come through here on their way to work or during their lunch break or whatever, so they have a short amount of time, want their coffee, and bang, they need to go. So it's great to have this, but you need to know how to manage this. So this is what you also learn in the workshop, how to manage this and what that all means, and how to differentiate between the shots, what's good, what's not, and how to fix it. Last but not least, in the equipment is the Tamp. What is a Tamp? Tamper. This is a Tamper, guys. This is what we use to press the coffee grind into the group. Okay, this is the manual way. Can't break down, obviously. The only thing you could do is dent it a little bit if it drops on the floor and stuff. This one's got a few denteds. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but when you're tamping, you want to try and get a flat surface on the puck. That's a puck that's inside the group, guys. That's one thing, to get a flat surface and an even straight surface. Why do I say that? Because like if you have your tamp and you're pressing into the puck, if you tamp it sideways, any side, and not straight, I want you to think about this. So that the water comes through, when you press the button, the water comes through right the center of the puck. If your puck is slanting towards any side, the water will go towards that side. So it'll only wet one part of the puck and the other puck will be dry. So you won't get the full flavor of this whole puck. So tamping is very important. Flat, straight as possible. But the other thing is how tight. You know, some people have a soft press, some people have a hard press, a medium press. Now, what do we need to do in a workplace? Obviously, if there's a team of people, if there's more than one person behind the machine, we want to try and have a consistent tamp if we're using a tamp. Next, I'm going to go to the equipment that we use. But I'd like to train with both. So you need to know how to use the manual as well as the automatic stuff, because if the automatic stuff breaks down, which it has, I've had 2 puck presses break down, always revert back to the old school way, which is, you know, a manual tamp. So you need to know how hard to press or how soft. Our tamps should be consistent between each of our hands. Why? Because the grind is adjusted to the temp as well, and the weather and all of that. There's a lot to talk about there, and we're going to talk about that in our next topic, which is the shots. We'll go into more detail there, but if you want to learn more, again, please come into my workshops, guys. So this is the manual tamp. The automatic, love this machine. Whoever designed this is great. What a great idea, honestly. What's great about okay, accident. Again, what's great about my videos, guys, it's unedited. You see everything. What's great about this machine is it's consistent. You remember how we talked about how hard or soft we tamp? Well, on this one, it's programmed for 14 kilos. So each tamp is 14 kilos. Now, why is this important, guys? There are 3 reasons why an extraction would come out bad. And this is in order, okay? The first reason would be the grams in each basket. The grams. The second would be the temp. The third will be the actual grind, how thick or fine it is. Now, when I say in order, when you've noticed something come out wrong on your machine and you need to fix it, where do we start from? Do we start from the temp? Do we start from the grams? Do we start from the grind? Well, if you do it in order this way and you rule out, you troubleshoot what it could be, it's much more easy because you don't want to mess with the grind too much. I'm talking about how thick or fine it is. It's not that simple, because once you change that, you need to test it a couple of times before you know if it is the grind, the level of the grind, like how thick or fine it is. So you start from the top. Was there enough grams in my basket? Did I tamp good? Was it straight? Was it even? Was it same weight? These questions were answered yes. Then the third will be the grind, and that's when you touch the grind. Now, going back to our grinders, what I missed was why I love this machine, how great it is and how easy it is to adjust. Well, it's easier to adjust the grams that go into each basket, number 1. Number 2, because it's just touching these buttons here, very simple, not fancy at all. And then to adjust the grind, how thick and fine is from the neck. The neck of this machine is right here, it's a little knob. It's so easy, you just turn left or right. Right for fine, left for coarse. But on these machines, this single shot grinder and the chamber grinder, oh my God, there's a whole lot of programming to do with changing the grams on the basket, which is up here on the top of the grinder here. But the neck, that's the hardest part, guys. The neck is here. It's massive and it's very hard to turn. So you've got to be very careful. Like if you push it too much, it goes too many notches left or too many notches right. So that's why we need to rule out the grams and the temp first before we change the grind. So basically, why this is great is it's consistent. If you're using the puck press and nothing has changed there, then you don't need to worry about the temp. You know the temp is right. It must be the grams or the grind. That's when you go back to that. Now, the other thing to consider, guys, before you start adjusting anything is if your double shot came out good, but your single shot came out wrong, that means your grind is fine too. Nothing wrong with the grind. You don't touch the grind. There's something wrong with the grams or the temp. It could be both or one or the other. So these are the troubleshooting stuff that we do. We go through all these little things where I stuff up a few things for you, and I'll make you think about why the coffee's coming out wrong and all right, and what do I need to do to fix it or make it better and perfect it. So these are the things that we go through in our workshop, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I talk a lot, and you saw the board fall on my face and it kind of hurt a little bit, but anyway. Again, what's great about my videos, it's unedited and raw, straight to you. So as soon as I press stop, I'm going to upload. I'm not going to think about it. I say it's all out to you guys. Look forward to seeing you at my next video when we talk about the shots, and we'll do a few shots here with the different grinders so you can see what I'm talking about how the timing is it right, wrong, the grams and everything like that. We're going to go through that next time. Okay, guys? Hope to see you soon. Love and peace to you all. Bye.